It is time for another cigar review. I finally got some time to sit down, enjoy another nice stick, and share it with you guys, let you know what I think about it. So I'm glad to be able to do this video and enjoy a nice cigar. Tonight we have a Kristoff Ligero Maduro. Excuse the jackass neighbor with the loud car. I have never had a Kristoff. I've got a friend that lives about an hour away. He makes a trip to his local B&M every once in a while, and he'll pick up a stick or two. And anytime he comes across a stick that he likes, he'll send me pictures of it and pictures of him smoking it. And he sent me a couple of pictures of different Kristoffs, and he said he likes the Kristoff, so I decided I would give it a shot. Now, some of you who watch my tarantula videos may know that here lately I've been traveling for work. I was down around the Austin area, about 5 hours from here. Last week, and as luck would have it, there was a B&M literally about 100 feet from the hotel, so I walked over there, and I came out with 6 awesome cigars, and this was one of them. So this is the one we're going to be reviewing tonight. Can't wait to get into it. Never had one, so we're going to find out what it's like. So as I said, this is the Kristoff Ligero Maduro. This is a robusto. This is the 5.5 by 54 ring gauge. Beautiful. Dark, almost black, oily wrapper, invisible seams, a couple of small veins, but nothing major, and a nice shaggy foot, and a pigtail cap, which is really cool. So, the guts on this thing, the makeup or whatever you want to call it, the specs, if you will. The wrapper is a Brazilian Maduro. The binder is a Cuban seed Dominican, and the long fillers are Cuban seed Dominican and Cuban seed Honduran. So, without further ado, let's get into this thing. Let's give it a sniff. Just some really nice, dark, well-aged and fermented dark tobacco. And a bit of a espresso kind of roasted espresso bean kind of thing going on there. Really nice aromas. I can't really give you much on the foot because the foot's the same there. Now most of these pigtail caps are intended to, you just grab it and twist it off, and it's supposed to go ahead and open up the cap for you to smoke. And as you can see, looks a little rough, but it did the trick, so let's try it. Oh yeah, wow. There's a fruitiness, almost like a raisin or dried berries or something kind of thing going on there. It's really nice. Maybe some dry cocoa. This one promises to be pretty interesting. I forgot my lighter. Hold on. Alright, so I managed to get me another natural flame lighter, the trusty Bic. And here comes the interesting part. This is one of the cool things about a shaggy foot. It actually makes lighting pretty easy. I'm going to do like I have the last few cigars. I'm going to toast the cigar with the natural flame, and then I'm going to light it with the cedar spill. So here we go. Yeah, my friend has had 3 or 4 different varieties of the Kristoff blend of cigars, and he told me that he tends to like them. They're in the middle price range. This was about $7 or $8, so that's, I mean, that's not bad. That's an average price for a stick. These are Dominican cigars. I don't smoke a lot of Dominicans, mostly Nicaraguans. Nothing against Dominicans, it's just my flavor preference is generally toward the Nicaraguans. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing lit. Right away, lots of flavor right off the bat. typical Ligero. There's a bit of that spice, that pepper tingle spice, as well as a bit of a spice flavor. That pepper tingle is starting to come up even more there on the finish. Some really nice dark tobacco flavors. Maybe a bit of that roasted espresso bean that I talked about. So I'm going to let this thing warm up, and we're going to get into it a little ways, and then I'll tell you what we've got. Right, so here we are deep into the first third of this Kristoff Ligero Maduro. As you can see, nice tight ash, nice sharp burn line. I'm going to go ahead and give that ash a tap, and it won't let go. So that's a sign of a well-made cigar. A lot of things going on with this cigar, but before I get around to the flavors, just want to kind of touch on the performance. The draw is a bit on the firm side, but nothing to complain about. It's not too difficult, just a bit on the firm side. This is a full-flavored cigar, medium to full body, leaning more toward the full side. Very little strength whatsoever to speak of. Enjoyable stick so far, pretty smooth, really nice cigar. Okay, so at the beginning there, as with all Ligero tobaccos, it started off spicy. There's plenty of that spice and black pepper. That died down, especially the spice tingle. The flavor is still there with the spice and the black pepper. That espresso bean that I had talked about, that is there as well. It's like a really strong cup of black coffee without the caffeine buzz, of course. And then there's some pepper that was washing in and out of there. And then a mild, just very soft, very noticeable, barely noticeable baking chocolate. Not like sweet, like, you know, like a Hershey bar kind of thing, that unsweetened kind of dry chocolate, if you will. It's just some really nice flavors going on in this thing. I'm enjoying this thing, so I'm going to get back to it. So here we are, approaching the first band point, which is also the halfway point. I'm going to go ahead and remove that first band, get it out of the way. While I'm at it, I might as well remove the second one. Not a whole lot of changes going on with this cigar. Still really nice flavors. That spice and black pepper still there. The black pepper flavor and tingle has kicked back up a little bit. That espresso bean, the leather has kind of faded out, and then that baking chocolate is a lot of what I'm getting. One thing to note: this thing is a bit of a slow smoker. I'm approaching about the hour point on this cigar, and I'm only about halfway. It's not to say that it's going to take 2 hours. It may smoke a little faster toward the second half, but so far it's a bit of a slow burner. So keep that in mind if you smoke one of these. Make sure you set aside the time, because this is not a quick smoke. Well, that's about all I've got on it so far. The performance is still the same, still medium to full bodied, full flavored, hardly any strength whatsoever to speak of. Draw still slightly on the firm side. Not a ton of smoke comes off of the foot, but a nice smoke output on the draw. So all in all, it's an enjoyable cigar. I'm going to get back into it and then let you know what I have. So here I am on the nub of this Kristoff Ligero Maduro. Took me a little while to get here, but I've finally done it. I think this was just this side of a 2 hour smoke. So definitely one you're going to have to take your time or spend some time with. There wasn't a whole lot of changes, just a lot of the same stuff. Just those deep, dark flavors, spice and pepper flavors stuck throughout. The tingle kind of came and went. And the espresso bean has been pretty prominent the whole time. Like I said, like a really dark cup of coffee. And the leather, like I said, had faded out right about the halfway point, and then the baking chocolate has kind of disappeared, and it's mostly a lot of that spice and espresso bean. So I mean, it's been a pretty good stick. If you're not into the dark, full flavors, then this wouldn't be one for you. But if you do, give one of these a shot. There was no strength whatsoever to it. It went out on me like once, but it wasn't a problem getting it relit. You definitely have to stay on top of this one because it can go out on you pretty quick, which is one of the only downsides. But other than that, it's been an enjoyable cigar. There's plenty of that deep, dark, spicy flavor if you like that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it. You owe it to yourself to check one of these out. I'm going to end it right here. Look for a couple of more cigar reviews, hopefully in the next day or two. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know with a thumbs up and a comment. Burn one for me. I'll see you guys later.